I'm really honored to be here. To Jackie and Bruce, thanks so much for the invitation. And to Joe Fisher and the Tennessee Education Leadership, congratulations so much on your race to the top, hard work. We anticipate another 10 to 15 states winning the second round as we try and transform education in this country. That kind of visionary leadership and courage and dedication is what this is all about. So I'm really, really honored to be here. And again, thanks to all of you for your extraordinary commitment to our nation's young people. President Obama and I believe that every child deserves a world-class education. When the president says every child, it's not just rhetoric. He means every child, regardless of his or her skin color, nationality, ethnicity, or ability. The truth is, however, that virtually everyone professes to believe that all children deserve a world-class education. Yet today, a significant gap exists between our aspirations and reality. And here is the harder, unspoken truth. Subtle, unexpressed prejudices and lingering roadblocks still prevent children with disabilities from receiving the world-class education they need and deserve. No belief is more damaging in education than the conviction that disabilities and demography are destiny, that the burdens of poverty, disability, and race mean that children cannot really succeed and should be treated with low expectations. We should never forget the past. Even in my lifetime, public schools virtually ignored children with disabilities. Many children were denied access to public schools, and those who attended didn't get the individualized instruction and appropriate services they needed. Over the past 35 years, we've made great strides in delivering on the promise of a free and an appropriate public education for children with disabilities. Thanks to the advocacy and hard work of people and organizations like CEC, 6 million students with disabilities are in school, and millions of them are actually thriving. Yet unfortunately, too many children with disabilities are not getting a world-class education. The President and I are committed to doing everything in our power to make that bedrock American promise of equal educational opportunity a reality. With the reauthorization of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, we have a historic opportunity to move closer to fulfilling that promise for all students. The President has set a goal that by the end of the decade, America once again will have the highest percentage of college graduates in the world. That ambitious goal will require our educational institutions to produce 8 million new graduates with 2-year and 4-year degrees. We simply cannot achieve that goal without Americans of all ages and all abilities going to college and getting degrees in far greater numbers than they are today. And we know, more than ever before, that in a globally competitive economy, a country's economic security depends on the skills and knowledge of its workers. The country that out-educates us today will out-compete us tomorrow. America simply does not have expendable students. But education for all is about so much more than just economics. I'm convinced it is a moral issue. I have often said that education is the civil rights issue of our generation. In March, I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to speak at the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama, on the 45th anniversary of one of the most important events of the civil rights movement. On that bridge, police savagely beat several hundred protesters with clubs, lashed them with bullwhips, and stung their eyes and throats with tear gas, all because the protesters, peaceful protesters, simply wanted to secure the right to vote. Our nation wept with shame that day, and within months, Congress passed the landmark Voting Rights Act of 1965. The civil rights protesters on the Edmund Pettus Bridge weren't in wheelchairs, and they weren't marching on behalf of students with dyslexia, learning disabilities, ADD, and other disabilities. But their spirit and commitment emboldened the disability rights movement. In education, no victory for disability advocates was bigger than the 1975 law that guaranteed students with disabilities the right to a free and an appropriate public education. On the 35th anniversary,